Silicon Valley: technology, art, green, and sustainability. Welcome to Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I'm honored to have two gentlemen that are craftsmen and artists. You guys do some amazing work. So Mauro Hernandez and Bill Holloway, am I pronouncing it?
Yes.
Or do you prefer William?
Bill.
Bill? Okay, good. I like Bill. Billy, Bill. It's all
Mr.
good.
Bill.
Mr. Bill. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. So, gentlemen, tell me a little bit about yourselves, your background, before you tell us about the business, tell us what you did before this.
I was a floor cover for 18 years.
Okay.
That's how I started my work career, and I took up woodworking as a hobbyist and just figured out how to turn it into a job.
And you told me something interesting what you made for your wife.
Yes, my wife, what got me started in woodworking is she wanted a spice rack one day, and I made a spice rack. And I always was interested in architect and woodworking, as far as furniture pieces and stuff, and that just kind of got me into making it.
Was it a big spice rack or a little?
It was fair size.
So.
Cool. Me personally, I've did a bunch of small odd jobs. Just worked as a manager here and there for Target, Home Depot, stuff like that. It wasn't until I met Bill that I actually got into woodworking. It was purely by chance. And ever since I started working with him, I became his apprentice after a while, and it was just all downhill from there.
And how did you guys meet?
He was actually working. We both worked for the same landscape architect. He worked in the woodshop division, and I worked as a landscaper. We were together in a project where he needed some help with for about a week or so, and the guy that was running the company at the time, he knew that I could pick up things fairly easily and help out, so he assigned me to go work with him. And after that, it was just
We've been together since.
Yeah.
Boys got talent.
9 years
Both
now.
boys. So tell me about Masterworks then, and how that was born. And so you just decided someday not to do flooring, and
no, actually my knees were going out.
Mine too.
It's common with floor covers. Masterworks didn't come along for a while. After that, I had worked with this other company for a landscaper. I ran his wood shop, which is where I met him.
Are they still around?
No, that's how Masterworks came to be.
Okay.
Me and him were standing there, kind of
Did he
like,
retire,
what
or
do we
he
do now?
just?
The economy.
The economy.
Yeah,
Okay.
got to him.
So was this 2008 or?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
fairly
We
new
started
company.
in June
Yes.
2008.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your first job then?
Our first job, it was we got in contact with an old client of ours that we knew through our old company, and they still had some stuff that they needed to get finished for their house. They had started their building their house. It's an arts and craft home in Redwood Shores. At the time, we didn't really know if we were going to be able to, help them out throughout the whole thing. But they called us up and see if we can do a couple of small things for them. And from then, it just
They actually had us design all the woodworking in throughout the whole house.
Because that's probably on your website then.
It's taken us 2 years to build it all.
I was like going through the website going, God, this is so beautiful. You just get kind of lost looking at all this stuff. In fact, let's bring up the first slide right now, which will have some of your work. Let's bring it up. Come on, let's bring a slide up. There it is. This is actually one of the slides that was supposed to be later, but this is some of the bikes that you're doing now, and I think one of them's here today too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. There's the first one. So this, I love this. It's like kind of like tiki pole meets. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this was actually a job for a friend of ours. He's an arborist friend of ours, and he wanted to redo his backyard, but he wanted to do it more with a Polynesian feel to his backyard. He wanted to have it fun and have it be for parties, and he hosts a lot of parties. He always has friends over, so he wanted something really cool to stand out. And
So was it stained wood or
yes,
or was it
all
redwood?
hand carved and stained.
Okay.
Yeah,
we actually designed this whole backyard. There's a full kitchen back there. He brews beer.
Nice.
Everything, a waterfall. We did the whole yard.
Okay, when's the next party there? No.
hopefully soon.
Brewing beer, I love it. And then the top was green. So was that a stain or?
Yeah, the whole thing was actually stained. We use in all of our builds, we use a very high grade materials, whether it's our stain, whether it's our wood. We tend to like quality, and we tend to like stuff that lasts.
What kind of wood was it?
It was actually that one
Western red
Western red
cedar.
cedar.
Okay, so cedar. That's
Yeah,
nice.
and then we had to get the stuff. It's called Japan color, and it's really rich pigment stain, and we mix our own stain, and that's how we were able to get those colors.
The colors were just amazing. Let's bring up another slide now too, and yeah, this one I really like too. So what did you do on this here?
That's a bedroom in a house in Hillsborough. We did all the woodworking there too. We were there quite a few years.
So you built the dome?
I did a lot of framing on that job. It's when I did it. Now we mainly do finished woodworking. Then I did a lot of that framing as well. But the main thing we did is the crown molding on the lower picture there. It's actually 8 inches tall. That's inside the dome that we made, and we had to make this huge jig to bend the wood around it and everything. It was quite an undertaking.
So yeah, so that was beautiful. So you actually did the structure of it before they put the dome in, and then the main part you did was around the edges, which is what you do now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what was that too? What kind of wood?
Walnut on
That was
that
all
one.
It
walnut.
was walnut.
In
Wow.
the same house, that was a circle. In the same house down in the formal living room, they had a huge 24-foot oval one that we had to do too. In fact, it's the biggest jig I've had to make to date to bend that wood for that.
So how long, so you said the business started in 2008, but how long have you been working with wood then? When was that first project?
Well, as a hobbyist, or when I went professional was 99.
When you
Is
started
when
hobbying?
I had to have my knee operated on, and I just decided to get out of floor covering.
And you were doing hobbies with it before?
I only started in 96 as a hobbyist. Even to date, I'm completely self-taught. I've never taken any classes or worked for anybody. I've only just worked for myself, or I ran the wood shop. I went from being a hobbyist to running a wood shop for somebody.
So a couple more years, it'll be 20 years you've been working with wood.
Yeah.
That's wild,
So-
yeah.
But even as a floor cover, I always like to push the envelope. But I like to be artistic with everything I do, and I don't like to make the same thing twice. So I'm always looking for new things to do. So it's just kind of picked it up in woodworking.